Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Vanzant, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Brooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon, and you're watching BKS1 Radio. BKS1. God bless y'all.
Afternoon/morning somewhere. Wake up! Wake up! Wake your ass up! It's the official Man Cave Morning Show. We are in the building because it is morning somewhere in the world.
Out there.
And we are worldwide.
Yes.
And with that being said, I gotta introduce the awesome squad, the team in the building. To my right, the dude that gets a little rude, especially when he's in a bad mood. We call him what?
Morning Show.
Wu-Tang is for the children of Wakanda forever. No doubt, no doubt. And to the left, it is the beautiful, the vivacious,
the delicious,
yes, the talented,
the sultry,
I'm delicious.
the awesome,
the seething,
the spicy Latino
the
herself.
angry.
Yes, 1/3 of the R&B group of Lord.
She is known as
what? Hurricane Kiss.
Good morning, nutcases.
Yes.
And you, sir.
I am
who
just
runs
humbly,
it all.
I'm humbly Storm Norton General.
El
Peace and blessings. Love you all.
Chief Boss Extraordinaire.
Let's get this thing popping. Shout out to everybody on the check-in, man. You know where you at, the Man Cave Morning/afternoon show. And let's start it off by giving love. And salute to everybody that's watching us live right now on what? YouTube. Yes. Shout out to everybody watching us live on Twitter, Periscope. Yes. Shout out to everyone watching us live on the mother site, WBKS1.com.
Yes.
All right. Salute to everybody listening to us live on what? That TuneIn
app. And if you don't have it, get it. It's free.
It's free. Frio.
You guys don't like free stuff. Something's wrong with you.
Yes.
You can say frio. Gratis. Frio means cold.
Gratis.
Oh, gratis.
It's gratis.
It is gratis.
Yes, I'm going to teach you Spanish.
Today.
Lord.
Okay. And shout out to everybody watching us live on Facebook. Salute to you all. We appreciate you all. No matter what platform you're on, share it out to the world. Some of y'all gonna need to get this information today, baby. All right, so let's get some love for everybody trickling in on checking. Shout out to C.E. King Parker. What's good? Paul Joseph Williams. Good afternoon, sir. Teresa Robinson. Hey, D.D. Graham. What's up, family? D-Mac. Patricia Shell Gibbons. What's up, sis? Shout out to D.D. on the check-in. Phyllis Woodbury. Hey, Phyllis. Tracy Abrams on the check-in. Shout out to Kimberly Cooper on the check-in. Kim Cooper. Teresa Robinson on the check-in. Marla Willis on the check-in. Yes. And Sandy B on the check-in. What's up, beautiful people? All right, let's get this thing popping. C. Fred Mitchell on the check-in as well.
Pamela Swain just checked in.
Pamela Swain. Hey, Pamela.
Swain, what up?
Yes. Now, here's some of the things we're going to talk about today. All right, so one of the things we're going to talk about is why do we stay in toxic relationships?
You sneaky little thing.
Why do we stay in toxic relationships? Why? We're going to talk about this today.
Why?
So somebody's going to need to hear this information. A lot going on in this crazy world, too. We got a few things we're going to pull up and talk to you guys about. Shout out to B and Jay-Z first and foremost before we get into this.
It's the Man Cave.
B and J.
Oh, Beyonce
and Jay. This was their Halloween costume, their outfit. That's FloJo. B is FloJo, And Jay is again. What was he again?
Tommy.
Yeah,
I'm losing my black card for not knowing.
We supposed to know this. He was Tommy Smith, activist Tommy Smith. So salute to them.
It was hot.
Yes, it is. It is, and we're gonna take care of that. Now,
are you over there smoldering?
Now we're gonna go into the blackface Beyonce, and somebody actually got fired for this. So can we read this?
A nurse at St. Luke's Hospital, Missouri, has been fired after posting an offensive photo online. Shelby Hiernan posted a photo of her Facebook of herself and another person dressed as Jay-Z and Beyonce. Hiernan didn't even make it past lunch hour before her employer was made aware of the situation, and by an anonymous woman that reached out to St. Luke's Hospital, where Hiernan was a registered nurse. The hospital already decided on her termination, citing their commitment to culture of diversity and inclusion.
All right, so I think the dude should have got fired wherever he works because he's more of a blackface. He got the big lips and everything like that. The one dressing up as Beyonce and put the little tan face on or whatever like that. Okay, I get it, but we don't get it. And then look at the chain he got on. That's the big chain he got on. He got the big lips, everything. The white pink lips.
Okay, so
we keep seeing this over and over again.
Yeah,
So
and as of lately, for some reason,
if you're the female standing next to a white man in blackface with his lips painted pink, what is your intention with that? I mean, is it honorable? Are you paying homage? Are you being respectful? That's number one.
That's what she
Number
said she was
two,
doing.
you big idiot. If you were not aware of how insensitive and racist that was, I know for a fact, even though I've never met you, that you heard about what happened with Megyn Kelly. You're fired, stupid. Period.
Yeah.
Stop.
I mean, it just looks ridiculous. I don't even know why he thought that looks. It looked just.
Stop. Not in this environment, not in this time.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And I know in general, I'm Mr. Fire every person and blah blah blah.
Right,
and I
right,
go overboard because people make mistakes. You intentionally, after the furor and after all the conversations that we had in this country, after all of that, you did that. You're fired, dummy.
Shout out to the hospital that fired her.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the justification is we're big Beyonce fans, right?
Okay, well.
Could she have been Beyonce without the tan makeup?
Stop.
No, I'm asking a real question.
Stop.
Could she have been
Stop.
Beyonce without the tan makeup?
Come
Yeah,
on,
she could have.
She could have. Yeah, of course she could have. She could have found the right costume and just made it do what it do. Your own rendition.
Right. Now here's my thing, right? Will we have a problem? You know how they make the Halloween costumes for the kids?
Yes.
And they got the mask pull on with the little band, whatever. Right. So if it was a face of Beyonce and she did that,
No.
would there be a problem?
No, because it's clearly a children's costume.
Right.
Clearly.
Exactly.
So my whole thing is so she had options. If she's using the excuse, I'm just a big Beyonce fan, I wanted to be Beyonce, and he's a Jay-Z fan, he just wanted to be Jay-Z.
To
whatever.
all
There's other options you
my
can choose.
white brothers and sisters, I'm gonna say this again: you can't use the N-word, and blackface is offensive.
Right.
How much more clear? How much more? What more do I have to say? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Do you understand the English language? How do you not understand? I think it's disingenuous. I think she is lying. I think she wanted attention. She knew that it was offensive. I just don't buy this an homage, and I just don't buy that she didn't know what was going on in lieu of the environment that we're in. I think it's a bunch of bullshit, and you got fired. And you didn't have to. You dig what I'm saying? So spreading that type of disrespect and that type of hate is no longer tolerated in today's environment. I clap it up. How about that? I said it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
Bye. See you later.
And voted off the island, you big dummy.
No
There
doubt.
was also a story yesterday. I didn't get a chance to get all the information. It kind of flew by while you guys were doing the Cypher show. There was an Asian, I think he's Asian, a firefighter, who was also cited for doing the same thing. He posted a picture, like sitting at a dinner table, I think with a cigarette in his hand or something, or eating or whatever. He had like this little frilly afro on, but had blackface too. And, like, I guess he got, they went in on him.
Now,
it's like, I don't see a point.
What is their intention?
No, but listen.
You couldn't be nothing else in this world but a black person.
What is their intention when they paint their face black? Come on, bro.
Is there a double standard?
How so?
Now,
how so?
All right,
tell me.
We're going to talk about Gabrielle Union.
Okay.
All right. So is there a double standard? So, okay. So racist Twitter users go hard after Gabrielle Union dresses like Gwen Stefani.
Okay.
For Halloween. And she lightened her face. And she lightened her face.
Lighten her face.
She did lighten her face.
No, she didn't.
No,
Yes,
she did not.
No, she didn't.
Did you see
She's all the same complexion.
She's
She has
just
on a
a
blonde
yellow-
wig and she has on red lipstick.
Let me
She
find
probably
the
has
clip.
on bronzer and stuff, but she's not white face. What the hell?
She's a yellow black
find
person
the
like
clip.
me. She did not lighten her face.
Yeah, her
I'ma
skin's
find the
all
clip.
one complexion. It's just
Yeah.
the makeup on her face is
Right.
like how Gwen Stefani
Right.
rocks it.
So, I'm sorry. Before we read, can I just say this?
That's crazy.
To Kiss, the beautiful Kiss. When you put foundation on in bronzer,
Yes,
that's not blackface or whiteface, you big dummy.
exactly.
No, it's not. Okay,
All
let's
right.
read.
Okay.
Okay, let's read.
Yeah.
This year, Gabrielle Union decided to throw herself into the Halloween spirit and dress up as pop, rock, ska songstress Gwen Stefani. Now, while Stefani herself loved the tribute, several Twitter users nearly lost their ever-loving minds. Over the weekend, to celebrate both the holiday and her 46th birthday, the actress transformed herself into Stefani during her heyday as the lead singer of the group No Doubt. She even shot a cute clip of her rocking out to the band's classic hit, Just a Girl.
That's a tribute.
When
She loves
Union
Stefani.
tagged Stefani on Instagram, and Stefani responded with, "Obviously, this made me so happy." Despite the mutual admiration shared by the two women, some racists on Twitter tried to call up the ghost of reverse racism, a term many have explained ad nauseum isn't a real thing, and complained that it's unfair that today's host, Megyn Kelly, was ousted from her daytime talk show while Union's costume was clearly an example of what they're calling whiteface. The fact that being Mary Jane Star wore no complexion altering makeup and merely slapped on an outfit and a wig somehow seemed to be lost on these people as they vehemently cried foul.
Stop it.
So is it a double standard? Okay, so this is the argument. So I saw some of the Twitter comments. I didn't have a chance to really copy and show you some of the Twitter comments, but the people going in hard. Like,
That's ridiculous.
like, what's the difference with this? And
First of
you
all,
know,
the way she put the video up with her just jamming to a song, whatever the case is, she's obviously a fan. And the way she put it together was like a tribute to Gwen Stefani. Like, obviously, Gwen Stefani had blonde hair, so she put on a wig to whatever. But her makeup is just blush and just like little highlighter and whatever the case is. She's not walking around with geisha makeup on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't go to the full extent of how people are making it seem. Like, now I think people are just trying to find a reason to say, well, you have a problem with this, so what about this? Like,
This
stop.
is not even
the
a
same thing.
subject
Not even
worthy
close.
to be discussed.
Exactly.
The people that are tweeting that are morons.
Exactly.
And they're racist who have racist intent, trying to pull the shine away from real issues.
Exactly.
Stop it, Shaka.
Stop trying to
Stop it.
distract.
It's completely idiotic and beneath even being discussed. Of course, we're going to discuss it on the show, but this veiled attempt
Right.
at tit for tat is ignorant at its finest.
all right, let's
Yeah.
read some comments.
I agree with Tracy. Tracy said there's no comparison, so it can't be a double standard.
Right.
DT said they're just obsessed over us.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Joseph Williams said, my opinion, I think this is all because of the president we have in office and the climate we're in now. Because when Robert Downey Jr. did the blackface in Tropic Thunder, and when the Wayans did white chicks, we didn't get all up in arms,
That's an
calling
excellent
these
point.
actors racist. These movies were funny and not looked at as being racist. I agree.
I want to speak to that but when you read the
Sandy,
next comment.
yeah, Sandy B said
She
she just lightened her makeup. Her face is a little darker than that. That's not offensive.
Absolutely. I agree.
Can we speak to that
Let's,
one?
let's read. Yeah,
I'm
let's
sorry,
read it.
go ahead.
Yeah, let's read it. Didi. Didi said, "No, not a double standard. We weren't running around on television for years, whiteface, making fun. Bullshit. Yeah, no. I totally agree. But again, social media is saying that, you know, it's just as wrong to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just as wrong to do that what
No.
Gabrielle did.
That's just like saying when people dress up as Michael Jackson, or people dress up as, you know, whatever characters, whatever the case is. When you put on black tar-looking makeup on your face and put this pale pink shit on your mouth, you look like a monkey. At the end of the day, like you're obviously trying to make I can't.
So what's their answer to wanting to be? Okay, so you got. Remember we watched the clip the other day and we saw the little white girl and she said, "I want to be a rapper."
Yeah, I want to be a black woman.
I want to be a black girl or whatever like that, right? So obviously, racism hasn't set into her little pure mind yet. You know what I'm saying? So like, if she wanted to be, I'm just making this up, Whoopi Goldberg.
Right.
I love Whoopi Goldberg. I want to be Whoopi Goldberg, right? And then she went and got
the dreads,
the hair, and whatever, and she put it on, whatever, and she
shaped her eyebrows.
Yeah, and she put on some little tan makeup or whatever. If she did that, how would we look at that?
I think that an intelligent, mature human being understands context and understands intent.
Right.
To go back to Paul Joseph Williams' point, Robert Downey Jr. dressed up completely as an African American, put on an Afro wig, and had the voice that was talking like this here, and the salmon, he was talking like that.
Right.
Here's why we were not offended. For those that don't seem to understand, Rob's not a racist. It was a caricature. It was for comedic effect, and we know the difference. I'm sick and tired of grown people acting like they don't understand context. I know what your intention is when you're doing that Al Jolson mammy, bucking your teeth out. There are historical figures, Al Jolson. There were people that use that to denigrate us. I know the difference. I'm telling you the difference. The reason that you're ignoring the difference is because you're a racist. You don't count. You're stupid. Move on. Like, stop. They're false equivalencies. They're not the same thing. And so far as the little girl that wants to dress up like her idol, she has a pure heart. She has pure intent. That's why it's acceptable. How much more clear can I make it, you big racist dummy?
Okay. We was just watching it. We was looking at the picture from Bamboozle.
Yeah, Vic
just now.
Mentioned they said they were doing it back then, like in the movie Bamboozle show, Spike Lee's joint.
And that was actually a very good movie. Bamboozle was very deep.
Yeah,
crazy.
Very deep movie.
And we definitely gonna go into. So I want to fade into this. So this kind of it took me off because, see, again, this is going to be another situation where people are saying there's double standards when it comes to us. So you heard about Don Lemon, all right? And if you haven't heard about Don Lemon, this is what happened in reference to Don Lemon. So CNN's Don Lemon not backing down from his statement about white men. All right, so basically this is what went down, and we're gonna bring it to you here on the Man Cave Morning Show / Afternoon Show. So CNN's Don Lemon took issue with the wave of violence against minorities and flat out stated that the biggest terrorist threat in the United States is white men. On Tuesday, Lemon appeared on Cuomo Prime Time to discuss the racially motivated shooting of 2 black people killed in Kentucky at a Kroger supermarket by a white man. Newsweek reports. He also took issue with the characterization of a group of migrants who are making their way to the United States, seeking asylum, and them being referred to as a threat by the president. And then goes on to say, Lemon begged to differ and said any one group or any one ethnicity should not be demonized. I keep trying to point out to people not to demonize any one group or any one ethnicity, Lemon told fellow CNN host Chris Cuomo. But we keep thinking that the biggest terror threat is something else. Some people who are marching toward the border like it's imminent. And when the last time they did this, a couple of hundred people came, and they most of them didn't get into the country. Most of them got tuckered out before they even made it to the border. All right, so now the fact that Don Lemon said that the biggest terrorist threat in the United States is white men, he says he's not changing that statement. So he may come under fire by CNN, for that. Now, had it had been if a white anchor would have said one of the biggest threats in the United States is black gang violence, right? she probably would have got fired. She probably would have got fired.
There's a whole network called Fox News that says that shit every day.
Yeah, all the time.
They're not fired,
but they're never. But see, they're never going to fire. But like in a case like an NBC or the more balanced, neutral media platforms or whatever like that, if a white woman would have said that though, you know, she'd have got fired. And the reason why I bring up that point is because if you look at the commentary that's under a lot of the Twitter posts and Instagram posts or whatever in reference to what Don Lemon said, they're like, why isn't that call for termination?
Okay, so outside of people's hurts feelings, outside of people feeling upset about something, factually tell me how that's not true. Factually, evidence-based, show me how what that man said is not true. Not how you feel, not you and your feelings or your emotions. When people of color point out their conditions and what they suffer from, people lose their mind. First this, they call reverse that. So like those migrant workers, did they take a car and drive the car, you know, into a crowd of people? No. Did they? There's several examples of that. And we can agree to disagree, and I know I'm probably gonna be placed under fire myself for my comments as well. But when you look at, if I say AR-15 and I say mass murder and mass shooting, what comes to mind? Is it the thug with the baseball cap who's the gang member? Is it the Muslim? Is it the migrant worker? Not what I feel and what I think, but what's factually occurring. I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, let's read some comments in the chat. Yeah. Shout out to everybody in checking.
Didi Graham said, yeah, fire her. He's stating the truth. Tracy Abrams said the biggest threat to our country is domestic terrorism perpetrated by white men. It's 100% true. Don Lemon stated a fact.
Let's see. Sandy B said, in my opinion, the girl that did that Beyonce wasn't offensive to me, but her dude is what made the whole thing look offensive.
She stood next to that dude.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We can go back and forth with that.
Because she could might have been like, look, I put my bronze on. She could have might have got away with that shit. But the guy with the big pink full lips and the black pancake,
like he put
stop it,
yeah, and there is a post. There's a post somewhere, whatever, where the girl was like, the girl was like, yo, I love Beyonce. I love Beyonce. I didn't know how it was. People going to react like this, whatever, like that. But I'm like, come on, Jay-Z.
Yeah.
He ain't that.
He ain't even that complexion. He dead put charcoal on his face and was like, yeah, I'm Jay-Z.
And my thing is, I just want us all to be treated equal because, I don't know, if I'm walking in a white neighborhood and I'm accosted by a police officer or, somebody else, and I go, oh, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be here.
Right.
That don't prevent them from racially profiling me, whatever. So the fact that you don't know, now you do. You're fired.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, I hope Don, Don escapes that bullet because, they're going to put pressure.
Okay, so
they're going to put pressure.
I got you. So Don was targeted by that bomb. You know that, right? You know they tried to send a bomb to
Right. Of course.
You know that Don and my man Chris Cuomo, I think his name is, had to evacuate the building.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah, they did the reporting from outside.
I had to stand outside
Yeah.
because the pipe bomb was caught. Now watch this. Imagine if none of those pipe bombs were caught and Don Lemon was dead and Chris Cuomo was dead and Barack Obama was dead and
Joe
Biden was dead and Hillary Clinton was dead, etc., etc., etc. You would say that that's the greatest act of terror ever perpetrated on American soil.
Right.
Who did that? You follow what I'm saying? Listen. Let's start critically thinking. I know I'm an emotional guy, maybe some of our people too, but let's look at it. And the person that they caught, what was his truck filled with?
Yeah.
The poster say
Trump.
I'm not making this shit up.
Yeah, make America great again.
Because last thing, because I describe what I see.
Blow up the Democrats and make America great again.
Exactly. Now, because I describe what I see, I'm somehow racist. No. Sorry. No.
All right.
No.
All right. So here's the bigger question. Let's get a little deeper. Right. So freedom of speech.
You're bashing. You're bashing.
No, but is that in jeopardy though now, because like think about freedom of speech, right? So even, you know, as much as we have our own way, we feel a certain way because of just how we've been treated in the last 500 years or whatever years it is now, whatever, you know what I'm saying, since we've been a part of the system in this particular country. All right, so now freedom of speech is basically running rampant. People are saying what they feel, what they're really thinking. You know, some people are losing their jobs behind it, some people or whatever. Are we in jeopardy of saying we can't really say how we feel when it comes to even news journalists? So like Don Lemon stating the fact that in which we all agree with, you know, is that the biggest terrorist in this country is white men.
Yeah, that's a fact.
All right, so
that's
it. It's a fact. It's a fact to us.
Okay.
There are people that disagree with that.
So let me ask you a question.
No, listen. Let me make my point. So that's his opinion. So you know, in a white person saying something similar to that effect or whatever like that, that may be their view or their opinion.
I got you.
So my whole thing is, I don't know whether Don's going to get fired or not, or whether they're going to bring some heat down on him or not, or whatever, you know. But again, are we in jeopardy of losing true freedom of speech?
When you say we,
even in the media,
when you say we, who are you talking about? That's what that's my question to you. Who are you talking about?
Just on a general level.
General level.
When we cannot really speak how we feel because we can get in trouble.
When have we? Now, when I say we, I mean black people.
Yes.
When have we had that freedom? Like for instance.
Right.
And I'm talking now.
I know, I got you, but I got a question.
Okay.
So if I say I have a dream, he got killed. If I say, you know, I don't know, the Ballad of the Bullet, he got killed. See, white people's freedom of speech is not maybe in jeopardy because of the climate that's changing. Black folks don't have that same freedom of speech. I'm so sorry. No.
Take it off black and white. Take it off gay and straight.
Hold on. How can you? Here's what I'm saying. How can I take it off black and white?
I'm saying in general, though.
I know. In general, white people can say whatever they want. And have historically. That's a historical fact, and that's a current fact. Now, that's starting to change with the Me Too movement, with civil rights, etc. They have never not had the right to speak. It is we that don't have the right to speak. So when have they not have given the right to speak? When? Never. Right. They say what they want to say. They do what they want to do. Wait. And what we say and do, we're held accountable. Like, let's say if there's a bad rap lyric, they go bad, and they put restrictions on us. You got a joker that tried to kill 1,000 people with Trump all over the place. Nothing's done or said. So he has the right to express that freely.
Here's the thing, right? So we notice I'm gonna give you the authority to say what you want in a selective nature. And I say that because if think about it, like I'm gonna allow you to put y'all rap lyrics on the airwaves, saying this and saying that, whatever, and degrading this way. I'm gonna allow that.
Degrade yourself, yes, of course.
Yeah, because it perpetuates a certain
negative stereotype towards
you,
and it hurts you.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But we're not gonna allow this. We're not gonna allow you saying that for 500 years we've been mistreated, blah blah blah.
Can't
blah,
say
blah,
that.
And the enemy is white men.
Can't say that either.
We're not gonna allow you to say that.
Can't say that. Nope.
And see, but I know it's a selective thing. We're gonna pick and choose what we're gonna allow you to say without no, repercussions and everything like that.
Yes, sir.
But now, okay, let's look at the black athlete, right? The black athlete that was in the locker room, and it was a female journalist in there, whatever like that, and she knew some facts about the football, whatever, and she said, "Oh, such and such, and this is a such and such." Yardage thing or whatever like that, and then the dude was like, "Wow, I didn't expect you to know that. I didn't expect a woman to know that."
Right.
And blah, blah, blah. And he got heat. He lost endorsements because of what he said. He lost endorsements. He got in trouble. They went at him hard on social media, and he was just like, "That's how I was really thinking. I didn't expect a woman to know these facts when it comes to sports, right?" He got heat from women. He got heat from black women, from white women.
He did.
From 2 endorsements he lost, the whole 9. So I mean, like, he was just stating what he really thought. So that's what I'm saying. Like, at what point do we say, it's okay for me to just say what I feel, and this is how I was thinking at the moment.
Profitable comment. I think that you're seeing growing pains. If you look at if you look at the way you and I were raised, okay, and the way we spoke about women, saw women, acted towards women, the behaviors that we deemed acceptable, right? Within the last 10 years, some of the things that we thought were harmless and innocuous are no longer accepted.
Right.
Like, hey, babe, right? So I think you're going through growing pains where people are taking things too far in both directions before you see the equalization. You know what I mean? You know, sexism has been around for a very long time. So now you got people on the other side that cry sexism every time. Racism was on the scene for 1,000 years. Now they always say, Dawood, they say I'm one of the people that kind of racism, whatever, which may be true, which may not be. But you're going to have to do that to come to something new.
Right.
You're going to have to break this cycle of the way that we think and the way that we speak. Now, for instance, if I'm a man and I'm my sexist shit, it's going to take Dawood a while. If I'm a racist and I'm comfortable on my racist shit, you're going to have to shake and prod. You understand what I'm saying? Until you come to. So that's why you got this fucking hypersensitive,
right,
politically correct everything everywhere.
Let me throw you another example. So you know the Soul Train Awards is coming up, right?
Yes.
So we know Tashina Arnold and what's her name?
Tisha Campbell?
Tisha Campbell.
Okay.
Tisha Campbell, they're hosting the awards.
Right.
So now the promo that they got running for that is Tashina Campbell Tashina Arnold talking to Tisha Campbell and saying, Tisha, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm going to do this first because, you know, you're white. You know, you're white. Y'all don't get cold. Blah, 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 blah. And she runs after her or whatever like that, right? So there were people making some comments about that.
Okay.
Because she made it, Tashina made a joke and said, well, Tisha, you're white, you know, and white people don't get cold, you know. So now, was that wrong? Would that be the promo? I
think that people on the left and politically correct people can be just as insensitive and just as draconian as someone on the right or a virulent racist or a Nazi. Like, I think that people on the left that are trying to overcorrect can be just as, you know, inflexible and unrealistic as someone that's completely on the right. That's like, yeehaw, and I'm a Klansman.
But was there anything wrong with that?
Me personally, no. It was
okay.
It might have been in bad taste. Right. You might not have thought it was funny. Right. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was funny. Okay. You may not.
Right. Okay.
That's all it was. But go ahead.
But are people wrong? Say if a white person is a white person wrong to get offended by that? Is a white person wrong to get offended by that?
That's a good question. That's a damn good question. That is a damn good question, sir. Yeah. I can make an argument both ways, but I will say no initially. But if you coming from the cultural milieu of racism, yeah, you follow what I'm saying? Like, it's contextual. We all gotta. It's always a case by case by case by case by case by case. To wit, if Donald Trump gets offended by that, no one cares.
Yeah, she said something like,
right?
White people, you know, you're white. Y'all don't get cold. That's what she said.
If my homeboy,
right,
that's my boy for 50 years that happens to be white says it, I'm like, yo, my bad. I didn't mean to offend you. It's two white people, right? Different context, different relationship, different history. I seen his actions. I seen the movements. I got to all of that before I could just make a blanket thing. So I can't believe I just said that shit.
Go ahead.
It doesn't sound like me. Go ahead.
No, I just feel like racist is racist. Obviously, just, you know, certain things just should not be said. I don't care if it's blacks against whites, whites against us, Puerto Ricans against Dominicans, whatever it is, it's just wrong. Now, there's a such thing as a joke. There's a such thing as facts. Like if you say, you know, something about Puerto Ricans is true, but it's funny, it just happens to be funny. But when you start adding malicious content to what you're saying, that's what makes it racist. So at the end of the day, we can say it's right or it's wrong, whatever the case is. Now it's turning into tit for tat. Oh, because I said it, now you're gonna say something, and because you said something, we're gonna say something. It's just all, it's wrong. That's it. Two wrongs don't make a damn right.
I'm starting to see Norm's point after 1 year of knowing him. I'm starting to see what he's
Come
saying.
on, like-
I've been fighting Norm on this shit for 360 days. But go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah,
I've been fighting him, but he's starting to get through to
and
me.
we got a lot of comments.
Yeah,
though.
I'm just saying, like, you know, I think it's at some point we gotta respect the climate, but then at some points, you know, like, we gotta be able to distinguish what is comedy and what is not.
Yes, agreed.
And the whole intent of things. And I think sometimes I do think we get bent out of shape. I mean, even though we
very sensitive.
Even though we got a right to on certain things or whatever, and then sometimes I think they get bent out of shape
right
on certain issues. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, it's a hard line with this climate. It's hard to be completely fair and balanced.
Right,
I don't think it's possible in today's climate.
Yeah,
right.
On either
in
side.
today's climate right now, because everybody right now is so
they're up in arms about everything.
You know what you say? What you mean by that? You know, and it's like I think we got to somehow kind of calm that down, man. Because like,
but before you read the comments, to Norm's point, right? Do you know that comedians like Chris Rock and them don't go to college campuses, right? Because these kids are offended by everything, bitch, hoe, white nigga, blah blah. So when to me, when you sexy or when you say adult conversation, what that means to Dawood is we're gonna say some sexist stuff, we're gonna curse, we're gonna laugh, we're gonna say some racist, right? So what I'm saying is, to Norm's point, on the other side, there are people with bad intentions on the left as well. You know what I mean? And I will agree, and looking back over my crazy butt year on this show, I have, gone too far. But I can acknowledge that. You know what I mean? And it is a slippery slope, because when you're talking about, and when you're talking in anger, you want to just keep being angry. You don't want to see nothing, me included. I'm a victim of that. But the last thing I'll say is, but when I'm that way, do I have leverage to power? All I can do is hurt your feelings. I can't, make programs, blah, 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 etc. Go ahead, General. I'm listening to you.
No. I'm looking at comments. I'm looking at Kaz Minor.
Break it down.
Kaz Minor says it's a true fact. Just like black people like fried chicken, it's just a fact. White people don't get cold. Okay?
There's white people that like fried chicken too. So what? You get what I'm saying? Like, why do we always have these things that are just?
And I know some white people be freezing their ass off too.
But why do I feel uncomfortable if I tell you I love fried chicken? You know what I mean? Which I happen to.
My thing is, like, why is that a thing? There's bad people that like rice. Rice is not a Spanish thing.
It's a stereotype.
If a white listen,
shit is what it
listen.
is.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask. I'm looking at certain comments. So Dee, Graham, Tracy, Abrams, Paul, all of y'all, right? So y'all having a housewarming, right? Y'all having a housewarming, right? So your white neighbor brings over a big plate of chicken. Are you gonna be offended?
No, I'm gonna be offended if they bring over potato salad because they don't know how to make it.
I will be offended if they don't season the chicken right, because they don't like to use the seasoning.
Yeah, like,
but you wouldn't.
As long as
you
it's
wouldn't be
cooked.
offended that they brought a big bucket of chicken over.
Not I, Piggy. I like chicken.
Not me. I know that. I swear
I
to
just
God,
wanted
I
to- I wanted to
past
taste
the breast.
So that's my. Whole
But did you cook
But
it?
there are
Because you don't put no paprika in your shit, and it's nasty.
But there
so
are-
I might not eat it from.
There
'cause
are
it's not
some of
seasoned
us
right.
that will black out. Or why the F you bring chicken?
And if it's the summertime,
Because who doesn't want chicken at that party?
Hold on. And if it's the summertime, I'm gonna make
Come
sure
on,
my
that's
white friend
sensitive.
bring
Nah,
watermelon.
no,
Like I'm gonna
just
make
like-
sure.
oh, Lord have
he
mercy.
he brings watermelon.
No,
Like straight
that's
up,
dumb as
just to
hell.
like fuck with people.
Just like
Real
my
talk.
boy.
But, like, I'm telling
Sorry.
you.
Well,
Go
it's
ahead,
just,
speak on.
it's comments. Short View said, freedom of speech does not clear you of repercussions. If we're talking about the definition of freedom of speech in the Constitution, I believe it was put in for speaking out against the government. David Yearwood said people are too sensitive. Short Fuse also said in some countries people are persecuted for speaking out against the government. I believe that was put in our Constitution to not have that happen here. So freedom of speech doesn't truly work in the corporate day or day-to-day world today. And his world said it's stupid. Like women don't watch sports or know the sports. Most girls watch sports with their fathers or uncles and etc.
Right.
Sensitive people will. It's true though. I tell my white friends that all the time. And he just said there's too many sensitive people in this world, and I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Vic said we get offended when whites make jokes about us, but black comedians been doing it for so many years and still do it. And Short Fuse also said it's not beneficial to those level comedians to go to a college campus. One, venues aren't big enough, so revenue potential is cut. And he said, well said, Victorious. Yeah, they're just going back and forth. He said, unless it's nasty. Exactly. Bland ass food.
Listen. I'm laughing at Didi Grant right now. She says, what does blackout mean? You know what?
Wow.
You know, Didi, I see you black out on some people over the years.
That's true. And Victor said he only get offended if they bring chicken and make a comment afterwards.
I wanted to speak to the comedians.
I like chicken.
You remember Delirious, Eddie Murphy Delirious?
Yes.
You remember Eddie Murphy Raw?
Yes.
Right.
That shit can't get played today. If that shit came out right now, like, ooh, the new comedy special from Eddie Murphy, and you never heard it before, Delirious and Raw, two of the most classic, perfect comedy bits ever done on the creation of the planet, they could not get played today. Why? That's all I'm saying. Like, that's why comedians don't go to colleges. Because the hypersensitive, tree hugging, you know, everything is offensive, hyper feminist, this, that, and the third. Like, it's just the climate that we live in. But I think it's an overcorrection to sexism, racism, bigotry, blah, 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 blah. It's not right, but that's where it's stemming from, to try to correct the bullshit. All right.
Right. Shout out to everybody, man. I'm loving your comments, man. Paul Joseph Williams said, I'm offended if they bring chicken and watermelon. If it's just chicken, then they're just cool. And look, down south, watermelon's a big thing too, you know. So they may bring a watermelon over, but you know what? They probably would think about it before they do it. Oh, if I bring this watermelon,
if they were my friend, they wouldn't.
But if they don't care, they're not gonna think about it.
Listen, and when they walk through the door, my white friend walked through the door with a watermelon, I would crack a joke. Be like, "Are you racist?"
Right, and that's what Vic said.
I would do to my white friend.
But that's what Vic said. Vic said, I don't care if they bring the chicken, just don't make a comment after. Then we good.
I swear to God, I will make a comment about my white friend bringing watermelon. Then I would eat it.
What you call the place? Damn, it's like Sam's Club in
Costco.
No,
BJ's.
BJ's. I bought a big tub of mayonnaise to my boy's house. for real.
Your white friend?
Yeah,
Okay.
my white friend.
Now, how was it taken? Did he wild out or?
He didn't wild out. He was
but
like,
he kind of looked at you.
he looked at. He looked
you know
at
you
me.
love it. You know you love it.
We don't like that.
Because apparently mayonnaise is a white thing now. So mayonnaise is a white thing now.
No, but the
it's a
only reason I did it,
mayonnaise.
I didn't do it to be disrespectful.
White bread.
I heard earlier they said, "Oh,
I love mayonnaise." By the way,
Neil Chandler said, "Bring a tuna casserole."
No, they said we didn't make the potato salad yet. So, but we're gonna make some, right?
Okay.
So when I heard that on the phone,
I said I'm gonna bring it.
I bought a big
key
Okay, so you were
ingredient of
helping
potato
out. There you
salad.
go.
mayonnaise.
Claps to you.
But
I
he looked
agree.
at me funny though.
That's true. Because you know why? Some of my white friends, they slice potatoes and mix mayonnaise, and that's it. That's not potato salad. I don't know what it frickin' is, but it's not potato salad.
Man,
okay.
I'm just saying.
It's not
I
potato
just think
salad.
at some
That's
point,
potatoes with mayonnaise on top.
at some point we get too
sensitive, man, for
You're
real.
right.
You know, and it's like, and it's funny, me and Kiss was making jokes this morning, and then she said something, I'm like, yo, that was real racist. Like, she's like, but you call these? I said, we was going back and forth, laughing or whatever.
Saying racist stuff towards each other.
And I just have a problem, and then we're gonna move on. I really do have a problem with this. I don't know if anybody else is bothered by this or whatever. And then sometimes, like, cause she even does this too. I ain't putting you on blast without knowing she does it, right? Cause how we talk with each other, you know, like she might be like, yeah, and that nigga, blah, 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 and we talking and we going back and forth, and it'll be white people around. I just hate when we say it. I know we talk like that. We all talk like that, but like, when we see them in the room, like, do we have to say that and have a conversation?
Oh, I don't do
loud
that.
and say the word. No. Sometimes you do it without knowing, and I'll cringe.
Guilty as charged.
I'll cringe. Or I'll be with my nephew.
Guilty as charged.
Be with my cousin or my nephew.
Guilty as charged.
That nigga, blah, 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 blah,
Guilty.
And people on the
I stand
train,
convicted.
or they're in the restaurant or whatever like that, and I'm like, shh.
Dude,
maybe if it's just
guilty.
loud and I'm not
I'm
realizing
guilty.
that I'm saying, but I don't think I'm
Listen,
loud and I'm not.
I'm on the job with my friends being unprofessional. That means that I'm saying how I really feel and talking how I really talk.
Yeah.
Huh? And my white supervisor walked by. I'm like, nigga, get the fuck out of here. I feel bad.
Yeah. I can't.
But and you're right, and I am guilty, right? On the other hand, that's how I talk sometimes.
Damn, Julius.
I changed the whole flow, man. I changed the whole flow.
I know how to code switch.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like,
I know how to code switch.
We can say, but I don't want them to hear us say.
I agree, Neil. I'm loving. Okay, first of all, Julius, why is mayo the devil's goop? What the hell?
I don't know
the
what
devil's
that is.
goop. Y'all like mayonnaise?
Neil said.
And Neil Chandler said, "I've always said, and I agree. I've always said, in order for someone to offend you, first you have to value their opinion, and this is true.
Okay, so before you read
Unless it's just overtly crazy.
Okay, so Kiss and Norman.
Yes.
Do you got a white friend that speaks freely? Yes or no? Because I do.
I do, but he don't
I'm
say.
listening.
He don't
I don't
say.
know if
he
I
don't
have a
say
lot of white friends.
the N word. He don't say that.
Okay.
Like I know some white
your
people, but they're not
does?
friends.
One of them does.
You cool with it?
It's case by case. Sometimes I am. I'm keeping it 1,000.
I couldn't even see you
Hold
with a white
on.
friend. I'm sorry.
Hold on. I know. It's incredible,
Yes.
right?
Just to-
Now watch this. Kid I grew up with. Went to high school with and everything. That's number one. Number two, my fencing coach, who's older than me, who's a public school teacher, who's nothing but black kids for the last 30 years. N-word, please. Like, so let's talk about, I mean, I get it. Look. And I'll bear my hypocrisy as much as I possibly can. The point I'm making is, in lieu of race, okay, true friendship goes beyond words and it gets to the truth. If I know a person doesn't have that bad intention, but they're using, like for me, right? People always say I'm ignorant because I curse so much. People say you should never curse, you should never use foul language.
Right.
I think that intelligent people curse. You follow what I'm saying? So it's like, when I'm really getting to the heart of a matter, speak how you speak.
Right.
So I can know exactly how you
feel. Yeah.
Last thing, when my kids get really, really mad at me, and I go, look, we go have the time. That means that my kids could curse at me. They could do whatever within the context, because I need to know what they really,
cursing in
really,
conversation is one thing, but you're not cursing at me because I'll block your head off.
But I'm just saying. But I hear you. But what I'm saying is, if there's a true problem bothering my son, and he says F word, don't say the F word, son. That's not the issue.
Right.
The issue is getting to the truth and the marrow of the problem. That's why I said it, not the
Here's
Go ahead.
Okay, anybody right now, everybody listening to the sound of our voice, whether you're on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, this is what I really want to do. Facebook, tune in the secret room over there, we got the dude. Shout out to Dennis on the check-in.
Dig it.
I need y'all to help me with something. I need y'all to help the squad with something for a show, because a lot of time we have these shows and these discussions, and we don't have the people we're talking about included in these discussions.
I agree.
So I would love for somebody, please find me a Caucasian, male, woman, Hispanic. Well, we got a resident Hispanic.
Gotta keep it 100.
Damn.
Male.
Gotta keep it 100. That's
So get
intelligent.
sick in the house. Shit.
Yeah, and
I'm offended.
and one Jewish person
Gotta keep it 100
that would keep it
and intelligent.
keep it 100, and
Right.
I want them to sit at
And
that
not
table
be afraid to say what they
us
speak.
to have this conversation, an open dialogue. I think we can learn so much
Yeah,
from each other
absolutely.
having this conversation, and we do it right here on the Man Cave Morning Show. Please find me, reach out, people, have them hit us up. Let's all agree on the day on it, and we need to have this show. We need to have this discussion.
Yeah.
Last
Seriously,
thing,
I
the
wanna have
most
it.
brutal conversation I've ever seen in my life. My daughter YouTube were Africans talking to African Americans. You think white people got some kooky views of you? I'm gonna say it one more time. African Americans, people from the island, what you call it, Caribbean people and Africans. Yo, I turned whiter than I am with the type of ignorance that was going back and forth. But I white knuckled it, right? And I kept listening because I wanted to throw my phone because of how disrespectful some of these African people were towards African Americans, or some of the Caribbeans. That wasn't. So what Norm is saying is, I want to have those type of conversations. But look, but don't get punched in the face.
No, I want you to really. I want
Don't
people
get punched in the face.
want to sit across from us and speak how they really feel
And how they really talk.
about whatever. Like I
Right.
want to have, and I'm not gonna get mad. I ain't gonna get mad, but I'm gonna keep it 100.
I ain't gonna do nothing.
No,
ain't gonna hit you.
You can't.
I'll
You
let you
can't.
talk.
You can't get mad at how somebody truly feels.
Mm-hmm.
And this,
I agree.
This is what, as much as racism is wrong and all of that, if you really hate me just because of this, if you really just hate me just because of this, and I could be the most beautiful person in the world and have the greatest heart in the world, but if you hate me because of this, I can't be mad at you because that's how you.
How you feel, right?
And how you feel.
Facts.
Just
Yep.
keep that over there. That's
Right.
all I'm saying. keep it over there and whatever. Don't cross my path. I'm gonna cross your path.
Look, when you bring it over here and start affecting my life, I got beef. But if that's how you feel and you ain't, keep it over there. I don't give a damn. Think what you think. I don't care.
So Shorefew said, should I almost called a co-worker the N-word when he was acting stupid? Now dropping the F-bomb at work is nothing for me. Laugh out loud. That's daily, or calling people pieces of shit.
Right.
Bobby's World D said, I do. I'm from New York City. I'm cool with it because we all grew up together and listened to hip-hop. And Shorefew said it's all about the intent. And they go on to say, but you know who is racist and who is not. I know people of color who are racist against us.
Okay.
And then Shorefw says a minority can call you a and you get mad as hell if you know the intent is vicious.
Right.
So basically it's all about the intent.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Faith.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed, sir.
No doubt.
Yeah.
New York is the truth. You can hear some conversation on the subway in New York, and it is what it is. Like for like an Italian, a black dude, and a Spanish lady. Holy shit!
Yeah,
you gonna hear some stuff that's not correct.
It's just
funny
like,
too.
I forgot who mentioned. I don't know if it was Julius. It was Julius that mentioned earlier. If we saw the white guy who dressed up like Trayvon Martin, blackface with a hoodie on with Skittles and a tee. And my whole thing is this: if that to me is kind of disgusting, because if you're poking fun, that shit is not funny. Now, if you were doing it in a way to say I'm standing up to say in tribute of him, whatever the case is, you could have easily done that with your regular ass face, put a hoodie on, had your Skittles in your tea, and said I'm standing up for Trayvon Martin. I probably would have respected it. But the fact that
when you do
I don't
it,
know,
I
just don't. Right.
Just speak it. Just don't put the black face on.
Don't put the black face on and do whatever, because to me that's just it's disrespectful to the family. It's just disrespectful to the fact that this kid is no longer here and died at the hands. Just the whole thing is just wrong. Like I said, you could have done that shit without painting your face, and I might have been like, you know what, maybe he just is, in memory of this kid. I'm standing up and I'm dressing up as him, just in memory of.
So.
But I don't know his intent behind that.
To Mel on the
Mel
check.
Davis.
He said that male stereotype is BS. Almost everybody I know get extra mayo on them subs.
Hello.
Tuna fish.
I agree.
I do too. I love mayo.
I agree.
Me too.
Mayo.
But not just mayo. Got to mix it with other stuff. But I love mayo.
Yeah.
No doubt. Real quick before we go in, don't forget, y'all. November 11th.
Yes. November 11th
is going down. Where at?
At the Express Lounge?
Yes, the Express Lounge.
Yes.
Who owns the mic? That 70s, 80s, and 90s theme. So come in there, dress either. Y'all pick an era y'all want. 70s, 80s, or 90s. It's the throwback jam, the day party. It's going to be
301 Richmond.
Yes. The Allure video release premiere is going to be there as well.
Yes.
They're going to be in the building. Special guests, Force and D's, all of them, they're going to be in the building. Some more special guests is going to be in the building.
Yes.
But it's going to be an ultimate fun event.
Right.
3 to 9 p.m.
And also come through and sign up for the open mic. Singers are welcome. Comedians, poets, spoken word.
Yes.
You know how we do. Grown and sexy.
So
tickets are $10. And if you get your advance tickets, you get food, also dinner. Go ahead,
this is what I want to know from Norm.
Yes.
Can he get me a sky blue LL Kango? But my head is so big.
I can't.
Wait,
I got one, but it's peas.
Okay, my head is so big. Also, I don't know if they make Adidas tracksuit in my size, but I want Norm to try to track down the sky blue Kango.
I got you.
I'm dead. I'll pay you.
The bubble one?
The LL one.
Okay.
But it's got to be in my size. I'll pay you.
All right.
I'll say it on the air.
So again, this is Sunday, November 11th.
Right.
I want to see all of y'all out there,
the
man,
mic?
at the sound of our voice. I don't care where you live. Make it out here. It's going to be a grown and sexy thing.
Yes.
I'm playing nothing but 70s, 80s,
I can't wait
90s
for that.
music. That good music that we all know and love. And again, it's the official release day party for Allure's new single, Like I Do. The video was hot, people. Yeah, we're gonna premiere that. It's gonna be on the big screens up there at the Express Lounge. Come on out.
Yes, 3 to 9 day party, 3 to 9 p.m.
November 11th. That's a Sunday.
Yes.
All right, 3 to 9. It's gonna be an ultimate day party, man.
And the day before that.
Yes.
Cross colors, Lecoq
and real quick,
yeah.
Carl
real
Kanai,
quick, we gotta say this
shit
again.
like that.
It's
Fubu.
only $10 to get in.
That's it. And you get food with that.
If you get your advance $10 ticket.
Yes.
So you'll see the link up.
Show.
Today you'll be able to actually purchase your $10 ticket, and you get the food with that. You get your dinner with that and everything. But come in and have a good time. It's grown and sexy. It's fun. 70s, 80s, 90s theme. It's just gonna be a great day of fun. So make sure y'all come on out and enjoy, man. In the Express Lounge, Plainfield, New Jersey, 301 Richmond Street, November 11th, man. Let's have a good time.
Right.
See you there.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And also the day before that, November 10th.
Yes.
Norm and I will be partaking in this play that we've been working so hard on. Shout outs to Juanita Caring Hearts Towns. It's called Final Deceit.
Final Deceit.
Our first day to premiere the play is a day before our throwback party. It's going to be a busy weekend. November 10th at the First Unitarian Church, 724 Park Avenue, Plainfield, New Jersey. Sorry, my computer is over here acting crazy. Seriously?
You know, sometimes when I'm on the air, my cell phone won't cut down. But go ahead.
Jesus. It just rebooted. So yes. Find a seat. First Unitarian Society of Plainfield, 724 Park Avenue. Tickets are $20 for general admission, $25 for VIP, and you get to meet the cast and also get a light buffet. If you guys have any questions, you can contact Juanita at 908-986-8474 or check our posts on IG. We have all the Eventbrite links and stuff, and where you can get your tickets in advance and all that good stuff. But you don't want to miss this play. I'm sorry. We are bringing it out to promote awareness for domestic violence. So you guys definitely want to come out and check it out. Everybody's been working hard. Shout out to the whole cast and Juanita and her hubby, who have been tirelessly working hard to make this happen. So y'all got to come out and support that too. I know there's a lot going on. Everybody's probably like, dang, the holidays are coming up, but it's for good causes. So come out and support.
All right. Y'all know what it is, man. We want to see y'all there. Now listen. Y'all know we got to touch on that topic real quick. All right, we're going to touch on the topic today. We're going to get a little deep today. All right, so we want to discuss why do we stay in toxic relationships? Why do we stay in toxic relationships?
Sweet
Some of y'all,
Jesus in the morning.
I don't know. I've never done that.
No matter what goes down, yeah, whatever. No matter how you've been treated.
You can't even keep a straight face.
No matter how much you've been cheated on. No matter how much is verbally abusive.
Oh, Jesus.
No matter how much it might be physically abusive. No matter how much it may be financially abusive. No matter how much it may be neglect.
Oh, here we go.
Yes.
Calm down, Dave. Calm down.
Yeah, I'm saying. Why do we stay in toxic relationships? Do we like the chaos? Are we attracted to the drama? Are we attracted to being mistreated? Let's talk about it. Let's get it. Have you, sir?
What was that, Denzel?
Have you ever been in a toxic
relationship? The first 9 months of me on the program was me bitching about some toxic relationship. I think that people stay in toxic relationships because they don't realize that they have power. Number one. Number two, I think that people are addicted to negativity, and they make. My mantra is: don't ever make an idol out of your pain and misery. People are accustomed to being treated in a certain fashion. Some people like to be a victim. You see what Kiss did? They like the attention that they get from pointing their fingers at another person. Okay. Now, in my case, I was unable to realize that I was addicted to being treated in such a fashion because I felt powerless and I liked to be a victim. Until I did some soul searching, I was able to realize that negative energy I was bringing towards myself, and I like the idea that people will give me attention for being mistreated, instead of saying, "See ya," which is what I say today. Bye. You know, you are responsible for the condition of your own life, and ultimately, no. You're not responsible for being hit. But your ass is responsible for staying.
Right.
That's you. And you know what? when we see it from our parents, when we see it from our friends, when it's become inculcated into our culture,
right?
We think that that's a normal way of being. Who would you be without your guilt, shame, and abuse? Who would you be? A lot of your personality is based on that dumb shit. I know mine was.
Hurricane Kiss.
Yes, sir.
Why do we stay in toxic relationships? Why have you stayed in a toxic relationship?
Who said I was in a toxic relationship?
Or were you the toxic one?
Woo!
That's a good question.
Loose here.
Okay, well, first of all, as a woman, especially if you can't admit that you're toxic in a situation, then something's wrong with you. Because a lot of women, as women,
taking off my hat to you.
As women, we, and when I say we, I'm not speaking for myself, but there's times where we like to play victim too much, where we can't recognize when we're the issue, so we start to flip it on the man to say, well, he's not doing this and he's not doing that and he's not doing this. But did you ever question why he's not doing these things? Maybe because you're pressuring him too much, or you're too much of a nag, or maybe you're not doing the right things to bring these things out of him. So we all have our faults, men and women. I'm not saying that, either one is worse than the other. But I know for myself, the first time that I was ever in a toxic relationship, because I think for the most part, after the first one, I think I've had regular relationships, good and bad, some mostly great, and we just didn't work out for whatever the case may be. I'm not putting the fault on anybody in particular, but we can complain if we want to, but we won't. But for the first time that I was in a toxic relationship, I was young. That was my first relationship ever, from 13 to 19. I had my daughter out of this relationship, and we were both toxic for one another because of the fact that he was going through things that I didn't understand. And it took about 20-something years for me to understand why these things happen. And when the reason I stayed again was because I was young and I was afraid to leave. I was afraid that if I did leave, it would get worse.
Okay.
And just coming from being raised by a woman who didn't tolerate no type of shit. She didn't tolerate you raising her voice. She didn't tolerate cheating. She didn't tolerate whatever. My mother just up and left. You gonna play with me? I'm out. And so I learned not to tolerate these things, but to each his own. Everybody's situations are different, and when you're kind of like taken off guard by something like that, like the first time you get hit as a woman, it's like,
wow,
oh shit,
wow. Like
I remember the first time I got hit, and I kind of sat there like at first I couldn't tell if it was like if I felt that I was being reprimanded, or if something was like serious, like if I was like, I felt like Whoopi, like you in danger, girl, like you need to go. But then I figured like, okay, maybe he was just mad, whatever. We go through that. So we stay for these reasons. We stay for maybe he didn't mean it, or maybe I said something wrong, or did I do what I did? Was that really, really bad? You know what I mean? So at 15, 16, 17, in those ages, you're not thinking about these things. You're just kids. But when it got to the point that the baby came and all these things kept on happening, whatever the case is, I stayed because I thought that I was in love. I was in love, but I thought that the love was keeping me there. It was more fear.
Okay.
It was more fear of, having things be worse than what it was.
I'm going to go right to Tracy. Tracy Abrams said, I asked someone that question before, and they told me toxic people are exhilarating.
Wow.
Even though they are toxic. Wow.
That's a fact.
Wow. That's interesting.
It's sick, but it's also true.
Dee Dee Graham said, I stayed a little longer than I should have because I wanted to try and make my marriage work.
Right.
More communication and counseling didn't work, so I bounced.
Respect.
Wow.
Ingrid just said fear, ignorance, complacency.
Yeah. Feeling like you can't do better than that person.
So the first time I got hit, I wasn't in my 20s.
Right.
I was in my 30s. And the fear and guilt and shame of being hit by a woman,
as a man especially,
as a big opinionated, physical, fencing, know how to defend myself, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, that guilt locked me into like inaction. Right now, after I'm not saying I'm a woman, I'm just saying from a male perspective that has been popped upside of his head,
right,
straight up. Me even acknowledging that I was abused physically by a woman is tough for me to even say. But after the shock of that this really happened, then going through these crazy feelings like, what should I do? Should I bust you in your head? Because if you was a man, I would do that. But you're not a man, but you're a woman. Never hit a woman. Never hit your man. As I'm thinking that, I hit again. Now, did it occur to me to say, this is toxic, I'm going to leave? Nope. Got to stay there for my kids. Right? I took vows before God and the devil and Jesus. I'm never going to leave. Blah, 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 blah. So there were a lot of things that locked me in. So I thank you for acknowledging fear, guilt, and shame. Fear, guilt, and shame will paralyze you into saying some shit that you know you should be out of.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm sorry, real quick. There was a comment. Bobby's World D said, because it's comfortable, some people only know toxic relationships, and when someone nice comes around, they can't handle it. And I have to agree with that, because sometimes, even though, like I said, my mom taught me certain things, there were still other aspects of what toxic relationships could be around me that I saw, that I heard, that I experienced at one point or another. So I, in turn, I kind of internalized that with thinking that what I was going through was kind of normal. You know what I mean? Happen. So either you love the person and you stick it out, or you're gonna be a coward and just call it quits and give up on the person, and sometimes you conform to these things because you think that it's the norm.
A warped sense of loyalty. Sense of loyalty.
Yeah, very warped.
All right. It's never the norm.
Anyway. I knew he was gonna say that.
For real. Okay. 7 reasons. Okay. 7 reasons we stay in toxic relationships. Share this out right now, people. Some people may need to hear this. Yes. You are on the official Man Cave Morning / Afternoon Show. WBKS1.com. All right, so 7 reasons we stay in toxic relationships. Number 1, is
we become comfortable with negative feelings and are afraid to break away. Sometimes we can't imagine a relationship without fighting, without making us feel like we are useless.
Wow. We become comfortable with negative feelings and are afraid to break away.
Right.
You know what? Negativity gives a lot of us power.
Yes.
You know Dawood, he's crazy. You know Dawood, he's angry. So if I'm known by that, and if that anger and that craziness protects me, when you take it away from me, I don't know what to do, because I think I'm my behavior and not me.
Right.
All right.
You ever been in a situation when somebody that you're with actually don't like when things are running smooth? And there's no drama and there's no arguments.
I don't get that.
And there's no beef.
I was in a relationship like that for years.
And they like, oh my
3, 2, 1,
like
drama.
You can have the dopest relationship with somebody where you get along, everything in common. Like there's really no reason for it, but they create
drama.
this shit. Like yo, things are going too good. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm getting flashbacks.
Story of my life. Story of my damn life.
I could do bad by myself.
Like,
for real.
yo, like we
that shit
good.
Is
what
annoying.
what
like
the
why
hell
you
are
starting?
talking about? What are you? Why are you coming at me with that? Like
there's you just created.
We just got finished laughing and joking and
right.
Making
love and shopping and feeding the
yeah.
baby and watching Netflix, and now you
know what?
Bullshit ass.
You know what? Remember back in 1970 such as you did such and such and you said this and blah blah blah. That really pissed me off.
Yeah. They need some type of drama in some form. For real.
We've been good for like 10, 15 years. What are you talking about?
Manipulative people get power. They get power over blackmailing people with that negativity. Like that's how they feel like they're alive.
That's
people feed off that negative. A lot of people do. A lot of people.
Number 2. All right, and again, if you just joining us on the Man Cave Morning / Afternoon Show, we talking about 7 reasons we stay in toxic relationships. Let's rock with number 2 real quick. Number 2, dos.
We don't feel like we deserve better, so we stick it out with someone who doesn't tell us how much they love us, or more than that, shows us how much they love us. That is fact.
We don't feel like we deserve better.
Absolute fact.
Did somebody say that this morning?
Absolute fact. So now, so as a person that once suffered from this, I am not powerless. I am loved. I am lovable, and I love myself.
And
how about that?
And
I'm valuable, and I mean that. But this is how I was raised. To express that, right, is not godlike. See, to be humble is to never express how valuable you are. So if you want to get closer to God, this is how I was raised. you let everybody know how worthless you are because you need Jesus, etc., etc. So,
Right.
so in my mind, I was so happy to just have a relationship. Oh, I'm not happy to
That's
just
enough.
have a relationship.
That's enough for some people.
It was enough for me for years. No. It ain't just I'm happy. You know, I should be happy because you're here.
Right.
I'm valuable, and I have power, and I have the power to make a decision to remove myself from what's toxic. But I could never see my power when I didn't think that I had any value.
Right.
And then I got confused when somebody like Norm said, you know, you're addicted to a bad relationship. I don't even know that it's bad because I don't know my self-worth. You cannot accurately see life if you don't know that you're valuable.
True
All
indeed. True indeed. Again, we're talking about why do we stay in toxic relationships. Number 2 was a doozy.
Yeah, that was a hit.
Yeah, we're going to transition on to
Number
3.
We are lacking purpose and don't know how to find it where it is.
Oh!
So we think that our relationship gives us some purpose.
We are lacking purpose. And don't
That's the damn truth.
Oh my God.
That is the truth.
I
can relate.
Overflowing with this one, boy.
I can definitely relate.
So think about it. So think about it, right? You don't know where you want to be in life. You don't know what you want to do in life. You don't know what direction your life is going in, and you just jump into a relationship. Right? Whether the relationship becomes bad, chaotic, or whatever, you don't care. It's just that
It's
that
keeping you busy
relationship
at the moment.
is keeping you busy,
Yep.
and it's giving you some sense of purpose to say,
Damn.
I have someone. So think about that.
I have a caveat, and you may be confused about your purpose. My purpose is to have sex with women. My purpose is to gain power. My purpose is to get all the money that I can. Look. My purpose is to do what I'm told. What do I know about God? Somebody told me. What do I know about politics? Somebody told me.
Right.
What do I know about the way that I feel? Somebody told me. So maybe my purpose is someone else's purpose. Maybe I never sat down and took off my hat and said, what the frick do I want?
Right.
Where do I move? How do I flow? Most of us go based upon what we saw someone else do.
Right.
And they think that acquiring wealth and power is a purpose. It's not.
Right. All right. So again, we're talking about why do we stay in toxic relationships?
Right.
All right. And now,
Number 4?
yes, we're on to number 4, and we're giving you 7 reasons why people stay in toxic relationships. So we're on to number 4.
We think we can change the person or hope someday they will wake up from their misery and stop pushing it on us. This will never happen, and that is the honest to God truth.
You know what? If
I'm currently severing ties now.
If I stay and I show this person that I love them and I'm all about them, maybe
that's
they'll
bullshit.
stop hitting me.
It's bullshit.
Maybe they'll stop cheating on me.
Maybe
they'll stop stealing from me.
They'll stop stealing
They'll
from
stop
me.
doing drugs.
Maybe they'll stop neglecting me.
Or verbally abusing me.
And
swinging.
what you're doing is setting yourself up for failure. All right. The more and more you to something that just is not changing and not trying to change, and they are happy and comfortable with the way they are, you're really setting yourself up.
Yeah.
But again, this becomes toxic because the more and more you try to change them, the more and more they may start resenting you even more.
Yeah.
The more the situation may fester and just get worse or whatever. You got to realize when you're in a dead end situation, when nobody's trying to budge or change that situation to make it better.
Right.
My job is not to fulfill you. It's not to give you purpose. You got to fulfill yourself and get purpose for yourself. Number 1. Number 2, just because I love you so much, right, doesn't mean that I'm going to uphold you in negative behavior patterns and self-destructive behavior. Oh, I'm just going to hold my tongue. He didn't really mean it. She didn't really mean it. Yes, the hell they did. Check this out.
Right.
You show me how you feel about me by what you do,
right,
not what you say. So I'm gonna look at what you do,
right,
and act accordingly. Now, if your actions change, I might not be there. I got to go in the present by not what you say, but what you do. And I love you as this coverall to be a doormat for you to abuse me, not me. I could do bad by myself.
Right.
No doubt.
This comment is true. He said, very true. You'd be amazed with the amount.
Oh, they don't love themselves, so they can't love you, General. Okay, I got you.
True that.
I got you.
Definitely.
Número 5.
Yes.
Number 5 says we become so attached and the thought of being alone is too scary, and staying in a toxic relationship is easier and less scary.
Number 5.
We become so attached and the thought of being alone is too scary, and staying in a toxic relationship is easier and less scary.
Most people live their lives based upon what they're afraid of. Most people make decisions based upon what they're guilty about. Okay? And a lot of people have a fear of death, and a lot of people have a fear of being alone. It's just what it is.
Right.
A lot of people have a fear of the stigma that's attached to, you ain't got nobody, you still out here, you still ain't this, you still ain't that. It's rough out here. I get it. I definitely get it. And go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, and to add on to that, a lot of times people don't realize this is toxic. You know what I'm saying? When you're afraid to break familiarity, right? I'm just so familiar with this.
Right.
I mean, even though it slaps me in the face, even though he's fat and ugly,
yes,
but I'm just so familiar with this. I'm afraid of change. I'm afraid of the change because while I'm trying to change, I'm gonna be alone. I'm not gonna have anybody. At least I have somebody. Whether even though it's somebody that left up, at least I have somebody. I'm familiar with that.
Right.
I don't want to break that. And a lot of times, I tell people this all the time. They be like, "Well, Norm, that's what I'm familiar with." But bruh, it's not doing anything for you. You know what I'm saying? You're not growing. You're not learning. You know, it's getting you into trouble. It's time that you break what you're familiar with and experience something different. And it's okay to do that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, man, you know, they get caught up and it becomes super toxic for them.
But because I was defined by my relationship and because I idolized my relationship like it was a god, I felt that when you remove the relationship, then I would have nothing. I would have no God. I have no value. The biggest part about skydiving, of a freaking plane. Now, after the parachute opens up, they say this nirvana, this, that, and the other. But the fear of the unknown is like going into a perfectly good plane and jumping out. And in life, that's what we have to do to get to the next place. And it'll make you pee your pants. You got to jump out of the plane and you got to walk past your pain to see what's on the other side. Anytime you're making a major transition, fear is involved. But if I can move through the fear and see what's on the other side, if it's more valuable, then I can change.
All right. Number 6, moving on.
We have seen toxic relationships in our lives, whether a parent or someone else. We believe that some way our relationships is not that bad or it could be worse.
That's true.
I used to think that that's what relationships were. I'm sorry, Norm.
Right.
I used to think that relationships were okay. I saw a lot of toxic relationships in my past from my family and myself and from my friends. I did not know that wasn't a relationship. That was toxic.
Right.
So it took me a long time to even learn what a relationship was because everything I had seen up to that point was toxic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt. I mean, if that's what you're used to seeing, you know, you're like, okay, well, it can't be too bad.
Right.
You know,
Mom and dad, grandparents.
But what happens is
toxic.
the bad thing is that you start adapting some of them traits you used to see too, if you're not careful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about it. Some men even become abusers because they just saw their dad do it and their mom accepted it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we see, you know, and see people do is not good for us to repeat.
But how do you distinguish your trait from who you are? Like for me, Dawood's crazy. Dawood's angry. That's what I do. That's what I am. But if every time someone sees me, that's all they ever talk about, I'm not absolving myself of the responsibility, but it's hard for me to realize, look, I'm not what I do. I ain't who I fuck. I ain't my job. I'm Dawood. I'm not even what I believe. I'm me. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's hard to separate when the entire world looks at a pattern or something external.
Right.
How can you know yourself? It means you got to spend time with yourself and
Exactly.
with God to kind of find out what's good, what's going on.
Exactly.
I just feel like the older you get, honestly, like, because even as a kid, when I would see certain things or whatever, like I always said to myself, my younger self, I would always say, this doesn't feel right.
Yes.
This doesn't look right. This doesn't whatever. And
you
it's
learn
like
to ignore
it. Yeah, and you would think that knowing these things, you would say, okay, now when I'm in this situation and something happens, you should say, this shit don't feel right. This isn't right.
No, you learn
so
to
you're
ignore
supposed to walk away. You're supposed to learn to ignore it, but when you're already, knee deep in the shit, when you're already in the relationship and you already, kind of gotten to this point that it's like, yo, like you feel kind of stuck. Like, even though I know this doesn't feel right, how do I get out? Because it's easy for you to say everything that you guys say and have all this advice when you're not in the situation.
Listen, people think that suffering equates to being righteous.
Right.
People think you got to be crucified, dead, and buried to see righteousness. People feel guilty about being happy. People feel guilty about being empowered. People are ashamed of that. It's sacrilegious. You're not God. Who do you think you are? Nigga, I remember we used to do this, you just do that. We live in a society that teaches us in order to enlightenment, we have to suffer, and it's a lie.
No doubt, no doubt. Shout out to everybody on check-in. We are talking about 7 reasons why we stay in toxic relationships. We are on what, number 7?
7, yes.
All right, so the last one,
the number of perfection,
is the last one.
We love the person, and we think love is enough to get through anything, when in reality it cannot make a person completely happy.
Yeah, and that's sad.
Yeah,
that's sad. And then there's a little blurb under there. I stayed in a relationship like this for 1 year.
Oh yeah.
And was totally obsessed with the person who treated me like shit. I never thought I deserved or could be better. It finally ended when he dumped me, and it was then that I realized that the toxic had become normal to me. I realized that the love I had was not what he had felt. And some people feel good in making others feel miserable. This is so true. I'm gonna say that again. And some people feel good in making others feel miserable.
Say it one more time for people that are hearing you in the back.
I'm gonna say it again. And some people feel good in making others feel miserable. We cannot allow ourselves to engage selfish individuals we cannot allow ourselves to engage selfish individuals such as this, because quite honestly, they don't deserve it, and we deserve far better.
Yep.
All right, let's clap that up.
Love is not enough. It's not enough. F your love if it's not tinged with compassion. It's not enough to love. Knowledge is not enough. What is knowledge without wisdom? Love is not compassion. Compassion is not love. Knowledge is not wisdom. Wisdom is not knowledge. Right? Love is not enough. And if you have compassion and love but are unhappy, it's not going to work either. And you know what? In conclusion, you happy. Absolutely. You know you go in the house to see your spouse.
See,
you know you're not happy. You know you're not.
But let me correct this point though. Now I've heard that before. Well, love is not enough to make this work. Love can be enough when it's mutual. When it's mutual, because if you love somebody, if this person you're with really loves you and you really love them, you're gonna go out your way to make sure this person is happy.
Right.
They're gonna go out their way to be happy, to make sure you're pleased. You're gonna go out there way to make sure they're pleased. The whole night. It can be enough if it's mutual,
right,
and it's sincere and it's genuine.
I would say unconditional love is enough.
Absolutely.
But love itself, nah. Because I can love my house, love my. I get what you're saying. The love prompts me to show compassion and to be selfless for my partner, and my partner can be selfless towards me. Then it's enough. If it's self-contained and selfish, no good. But you right, I hear what you're saying.
Right.
But the component that drives me to be compassionate is what allows a relationship to flourish.
No doubt. Shout out.
Yeah.
D Saying says nowadays you have to ask for references before a serious
real.
relationship.
Vag facts.
And it cannot be family members.
Vag facts.
Vag facts. For real.
Vagina mileage. No, sorry.
Get the hiney and the giny facts. Vic
Hiney
said
and the giny facts.
people are so used to toxic they don't know what to do with. Like Norman said,
Agreed.
they're afraid to change and they're afraid to be alone while they're changing.
Yeah.
Agree. Woo.
Yeah.
Clap that up.
No doubt.
Clap
No
it
doubt.
up.
No doubt. Wow. Interesting show today, man.
A lot of toxic people.
Yep. We want to thank everybody for joining us on the Man Cave morning/afternoon show.
This morning somewhere.
Yes.
Appreciate you guys' comments for sure.
Absolutely.
Oh, and Bobby said, I told myself never to be my father. Be the opposite, be better.
There you go.
That's deep.
There you go.
That's
And,
another
Clap
show.
you up.
as always, we appreciate y'all
Absolutely.
being transparent and open and sharing your thoughts and your comments on the Man Cave Morning / Afternoon Show. And we will be back tomorrow.
Mañana.
But make sure you tune in tonight. We have the Let's Talk About It show.
Yes.
And that's from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then tonight is the official Storm Morning show with your girl Hurricane Kiss and your boy Storm Norm.
Yes.
But some of the squad, some of the team that helped put together their new single, Allure's new single, Like I Do, will be in the building. And you get a sneak peek. A sneak peek at the video, because we really going to launch it on the 11th,
Yes.
August 11th, at the Express Lounge for the Allure official release day party. And that's going to be off the chain. Now, who owns the mic and everything is going to be going down. So artists, we giving out a cash prize. You know how we do. It's going to be food in the building. 301 Richmond Street, Plainfield, New Jersey. Again,
3 p.m. to 9 p.m.
3 p.m. to 9 p.m. is going to be an ultimate day party. I'm going to be on the ones and twos now. It's a 70s, 80s, and 90s theme. So I want to see you come themed out.
Yes.
Either in your 70s gear, 80s gear, 90s gear, whatever like that. Come themed out. If you're not, you still can get in, whatever like that. But what fun is that? Come themed out and everything. I'm going to be on the ones and twos, taking you on a journey, man.
Yes.
And just doing what I do and everything. Special guests that are coming. All the Foursome Ds, they coming to show love. Some other special invited guests is coming in the building. I can't say right now who they are, but they're coming in the building to support and rock out and everything, and support the girls of Allure and everything. But it's you know how we do Who Owns the Mic. It's a lot of fun, great fun. So we definitely see y'all on, again, November 11th. That's a Sunday. It's the Super Day Party, all right?
Yeah.
All right, so we want to thank everybody for joining us today. And we're coming back tomorrow, man, and with more topics and more stories to talk about and discuss with you all right? So y'all just got to remember one thing, though, when it comes to this show.
Yes.
It's never about us.
It's always about you.
Because
you are the next best kept secrets.
Peace.
What kind of forever? Bang, 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 bang.
Love y'all, man.
It's the Man Cave.
Do you love us? Do you love us?
Are you not entertained?
Do you love us?
Are you not entertained?
Do
Whatever
you love
you
us?
like.
All right. It's getting close to the weekend, so I want to say to all my Latinos, que tengan un buen fin de semana.
Yes. Jesus.
Yes.
We're going to have a Spanish lesson. I can't, yo.
It means have a nice weekend.
Yeah.
My mind, that's
Cannot even
that
do it
don't
right
sound
now.
like
Peace. One love.